Hello everybody, welcome to our talk about ZeroTrust. We appreciate the chance of being able to present here for you at the frOSCOn 2020. And we hope that you have been enjoying this first virtual frOSCOn so far. As an exhibitor, we have taken part at the frOSCOn for the last five years, so this virtual frOSCOn is also a new experience for us. My name is Stefan and I'm the founder of pi-lar Enterprise Architects. We are a team of 7 located in Cologne. Today I brought along a very dedicated co-worker of mine. Please meet Marvin. Marvin is very enthusiastic about security. In fact, sometimes it feels almost like an obsession. Marvin will join us today, and if you keep an eye on him, you will see if he's happy with what he sees. Sometimes Marvin is critical about several security measures. Marvin points out that in the past security has not received the attention that it should have. I agree with him. He is convinced that bilateral aspects of protecting IP connections is tedious and offers little benefit. Looking at the protection of complex APIs, they are missing the required granularity and may lead to unwanted access rights. This doesn't enforce security best practices in a company. The old and outdated approach to security is completely unsuited for rapid change or to establish new data channels. Let's have a closer look. If you step deeper into the IT architecture, then you could depict a picture like the one you see here. In the past, we have defined trust perimeters within or around our installed networks with artificial borderlines, VMZ zones, and several domains. This happened in the belief that it is important to protect your enterprise from external threats. And although you were able to protect your enterprise from external threats, it is unfortunately now a fact that most security attacks are successful because of internal actors. Sometimes on purpose, but in many cases because of some malfunction, by clicking on a link of a new phishing email, or even worse, by following instructions from a successful social engineering attack. The bottom line is, with the old perimeter approach, your enterprise is only protected from about 30% of the attacks, because you only protect against external attackers. This means that the old approach, based on trust perimeters with artificial defense line, is too statically designed. You have built your defense once and then you hope that you can run with this defense forever. What happens if a new requirement approaches the IT department? You're introducing little holes into your own protection measures, meaning that you will also generate security exceptions. Most times, adding business functionality is still more important than getting the security right at the same time. In the end, you may have built a highly sophisticated security gateway, but everybody can walk around it and doesn't need to open any door to get your data. From looking at this example, we see that the old trust perimeter approach has to change. The security of the future is looking at fragmented information flows that need protection for all participating systems and actors. The process behind a data exchange is getting more importance than before, and you have to secure it from end to end. One major shift, therefore, is the ability to authenticate and authorize at each given step of the information flow instead of artificial trust borders or perimeters invented by ourselves. You are now using access policies. The difference with access policies is that they can be evaluated at each single step or component. You may still use, for example, external or internal access attributes to differentiate between cloud components or on-premise deployments. With access policies, you are able to define new trust levels for much smaller groups, even enforcing rules for single data objects. This has a double advantage for you. On one side, it is possible to establish fine-grained success control, for example for an API. On the other side, it also means that you will get more insights about your IT. And more insights into your IT and your data objects and your interactions also means that you are able to minimize your risk beyond the current status quo. The standard model of Zero Trust means to establish a simple rule: never trust, always verify. Of course, this includes a high level of security automation and that you are able to exchange and handle digital identities correctly and efficiently. Zero Trust and access policies are important components if you look at the security requirements for ecosystems. The enterprise that you are working in depends on interactions with other players, and these interactions are one main driver for your future IT architecture. Your devices and software consume and produce data at the same time, and for each data object that has been created, there may be different data owners. If one of your partners fails to establish a good security practice, then most likely it is also possible to attack your company or maybe even just the single process. Maybe it's good to have an example at hand. Consider that you would like to exchange digital twin data, or your machines need maintenance from a different company or from a vendor. You need to be able to grant access rights to these external partners on the data objects and machines they are allowed to see. All other components of your IT should remain invisible to them. You could also consider our new work that we are all practicing right now, working from the home office. With a Zero Trust setting, an employee may work from home just the same because his access policies allow him to do so, and he may access the services that he needs. If you establish a Zero Trust approach, you are able to change your access policies in days rather than months, meaning that this could also increase your incident response time. It also enables you to change your data connections, for example, between two different data providers at any time, or it enables you to compare two different service providers. Zero Trust, for us, is an enabler for your company to adapt and to survive. We therefore find it important to view Zero Trust architectures not from the technical perspective, but from the business perspective. It is a model that gives you reliability, and maybe this word sounds a bit strange with all the agility around us, but it gives you reliability in terms of legal, economic, environmental, and social perspectives. For example, Zero Trust architectures enable your GDPR compliance. Knowing where your customer data is and who can access it is just one side effect of a Zero Trust architecture. Being able to switch between a service or a product strategy is a business enabler, and it is your enabler to upsell additional services or access to data resources. In the operational technology, it allows access rights and it protects your employees from cyber attacks. With Zero Trust, you're investing into the resilience of your company. And last but not least, we all live in B2B ecosystems and multi-tenant environments. The time to hide behind a castle wall is long over, and it will not come back. In summary, a Zero Trust security approach pays into many business aspects, giving you a sustainable advantage. Zero Trust architecture is on one hand nothing new, and it's an extension to your existing security strategy. However, the focus is shifted to data objects and how they are used in terms of their business value, and not on network topologies. There are 10 principles that we can look into briefly. The first item, Know Your Architecture, refers to ISMS tooling or an enterprise architecture map that you need to have at hand. The second one, having or using user identities, refers to the use of strong authentication for your employees or for external partners, and you may want to extend this with a look at privacy. Device identities may be a surprise, but it is important that each device uses, for example, a TPM module and has its own digital identity. The fourth item actually refers to your current infrastructure security. Only allow authenticated IP connections, maybe in conjunction with the PKI system. The next two items go along with ZER measures. Monitoring devices and services and knowing their health status is, of course, important. From then on, topics like policies and access control are new ZeroTrust principles that begin to shape your strategy as you apply them into your company. The last item, choose services designed for ZeroTrust, is defined a bit too wide from my perspective. It refers most probably to microservices and the granularity that you are offering with them. Don't mix too many objects or resources into one interface for the start. This can be done in a later step by aggregating data with extra policies. So what's the catch at the end of this small talk? Importance of ZeroTrust will increase. You can see this also from the nice publication from March 2020. Although the maturity of technical ZeroTrust frameworks is often not yet given, it is worth looking forward and incorporating the new aspects of it into your cybersecurity measures. We collected the links that you see here that will help you to get started with ZeroTrust architectures. Especially if you're a startup, then embracing the ZeroTrust architecture approach is a no-brainer. In the upcoming discussion, we would like to share our experience with pushing ZeroTrust with our own European messaging layer. And we would like to hear about challenges or problems that you see with adopting a ZeroTrust strategy. Maybe somebody can also share a success story or other resources. So, let's explore how we can support each other and exchange our thoughts on ZeroTrust architectures. Thanks for listening for this short introduction. Enjoy frOSCOn 2020 and let's have a chat.